Welcome everyone, my name is Marlene, the creator behind Tone's Caribbean Body, a project that was started from the onset of COVID-19, where I simply share with you holistic solutions for a healthier lifestyle. Hey everyone, welcome to one of my favorite places at my house. Yes, my backyard, where as you can see behind me is my fireside. Now, since the year started, I and my family, we've been having a good old time yeah, with my fireside. Now, one of the amazing things about this fireside is not only is it made from almost completely of tires, the second amazing thing about it is you can pretty much cook anything on it. Now I'm an old school girl, and I grew up eating a lot of fireside food, particularly fireside corn and boiled corn. But amazingly, something that people don't think about is bread. Now in the Caribbean, we call bread made on the fireside pot bread. I've been getting a lot of requests from my subscribers that I should upload a video of how I make my pot bread. Now you might think that I'm a professional when it comes to fireside cooking. On the contrary, this year January has been the first time since I've been actively involved in fireside cooking. My dad is showing me all the ins and outs and all the things that I need to learn, particularly the type of wood that I need. This is a bay leaf wood, very durable, and it makes a lot of coal, in addition to some other things that I have shared with you or are going to share with you inside the video. Now, if you want to see how we set up my fireside, my tire fireside, make sure to subscribe to my channel so that you can see the full video, in addition to some of our delicacies that we created from the corn and the boiled corn, even corn guys. So make sure to subscribe to my channel. Now let me take you through to my video of how I make fireside or pot bread. Enjoy.
Now, for those of you who are familiar with fireside or pot bread, you will agree that the beauty is in the smokiness that comes from the fireside. You just simply start with a basic bread recipe. The same recipe you would use if you're baking in an indoor oven can also be applied when baking outside on the fireside. However, if you're interested in getting my recipe, just click on the link down below in the description. Now, I learned to bake bread using my hands from beginning to end, but as I got older, I have found that using my trustworthy KitchenAid stand mixer helps make the job a whole lot more easier. And as you can see, I usually pack as much of the ingredients into the stand mixer that can possibly hold, because I usually make bread for an entire month so that I don't have to bake in between, which feeds my family, yes, for a long time. I usually mix two types of bread, a brown or multigrain bread, which contains seeds and multigrains, wheat germ, wheat bran, etc., and a turmeric bread, which of course includes turmeric powder. This is the multigrain bread, and this is the start of the turmeric version. If you notice the distinct yellow color of the bread, which shows you that there is turmeric included in the mix, What I love about the turmeric powder is the vibrant yellow color that it brings to the bread, and it looks a bit like pumpkin. Don't you agree? Now at this stage, this mixer does a really good job because of the amount of dough in the pan. It works extra hard at this stage, but I must say, after so many years, it really stands up. Have you ever used the turmeric powder in your bread dough before? Leave us a comment and let us know. Now I usually start the kneading process in the dough mixer, but then I take it out halfway and finish the work by hand. Now after the kneading process, I just usually coat the bottom and sides of the bowl with some olive oil and just simply plop the dough in, turn it over, just making sure that the oil is covering the dough lightly, and then I leave it to rise till it's doubled in size. Now this is where all the fun begins. Get your firewood ready while the dough is rising. The fire for on top and the fire below that are going to bake the bread. So while the firewood makes its coals, it's now time for you to sectionize your dough. Based on the recipe, you will know how many loaves you intend to make. I usually make 6 loaves. I put 3 in the indoor oven and 3 on the outside fireside. You know, I can never get the shape of these loaves right, but hey, who's complaining? Now it's time for you to shape your bread. I shape them in the form of logs and then I pan them accordingly. Now this action is so therapeutic. Just a simple rotating, massaging nature just helps to calm your nerves and just takes away the stress. Now all the doughs have been panned and they can be left to double in size. In the meantime, the coals are well underway. What I love about the bay leaf wood is that it lights up evenly, it does not out, and it sustains the heat in order to make them turn into coals. So if you ever want to do fireside cooking, get some bay leaf wood. Now my dad built a little shed to prevent the rain from wetting the fireside in the event that it comes. And as you can see, we have already put the bread in the pot. I just need a bigger pot, and my dad just covered the bread, fire on top and fire below. Now one thing we have to make sure is that the coals are evenly distributed across the pot so that the bread does not brown too fast, too much, resulting in burning. This is something that I am still learning because, trust me guys, there is a science behind it. And one thing my dad mentioned is that it's actually the coals, the heated coals, that bakes the bread rather than the fire. So you don't need a heavy fire, you just need the coals. Now I mentioned on this day that the rains threatened the baking process, but as soon as my dad built the shed, the skies were blue again. So the bread from the indoor oven finished first, of course, because I put them in first. It took me 1 hour to get them done, and here I am basting them with a turmeric and butter and hot water combination. And And of course, my pot bread, they are ready. Look at the nice color. Just a little too much heat at the top because of the flame. It was a little too high, but all in all, I think they came up pretty well for a first time. And here I am again, basting them with the same combination of butter, turmeric, and hot water, just to give it that extra golden glow. And here you have it, guys, the full selection of our breakfast bread for the month.